Now 6 o'clock, we call the April 15th, 2024 property owners meeting call to order. Can we call the roll, please?
Pro Tem Morthouse. Director Ramrez.
Here.
Director Pino.
Here.
Director Nutting.
Here.
Director Lee. Director LaFontaine.
Here.
Director Blackwood.
Here.
Secretary Tozan. Treasurer James. Vice President Sislo.
Present.
President Becker.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have approval of minutes of the March meeting?
Yes, they were approved April the 1st, 24 by email.
Okay. Does anyone need to amend the agenda? Hearing no one, I ask for a motion to approve the meeting agenda.
So moved.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
President's report. We're now in the middle of the election cycle for the 2024 elections for officers and directors. Since we only have one officer candidate for each position, that part of the election has already been decided. So our new officers for the next 2 years, starting in June, will be President Nancy Sislo, Vice President Trey Geruso, Secretary Meg Damians, and Treasurer Bill Blackwood. Now, we have 6 candidates for director, of which 4 will be elected. We normally have 6 directors, and every 2 years we rotate 3, and then they serve 4 years. But this year, since Bill Blackwood is going to be moving up to treasurer, we have a 2-year term that he will have left over to fill. So we will elect 4 directors out of the 6, and the person receiving the 4th highest number of votes will serve the 2-year term that will be vacated by Treasurer-elect Blackwood. I'd like to thank everybody who put their name in to run. We all know how much work it is for no pay. And despite what you hear, we don't get any fringe benefits. So we're grateful to everyone who's willing to serve. Secondly, the pool season opens May the 1st. The hours for the East Rec pool will be 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. That begins on May 2nd. The others open May 1st, and they're all open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. All the pools are closed 1 day a week for cleaning. We rotate that between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, depending on which pool it is. To use the pools, you must be a member in good standing with an updated membership card. So if you have a membership card that you haven't updated for 2024, please stop by the admin office or the concierge desk to get your card punched and checked. You'll need that for admittance to the pool. Children and grandchildren, immediate families are welcome as guests of the member in good standing, and renters can get a pool pass. They have to pay for it, but if their member who owns the property is in good standing. So if you're a renter and you want to find out whether you're eligible for pool passes or not, you should stop by the office and check that out. For summer, we're getting ready we have several tennis and golf camps for the children. If you're interested in one of the tennis camps, you should contact the East Rec office. And if you're interested in one of the golf camps, you should contact the golf shop. Our golf courses are in excellent shape for this time of the year, even though the grass is just beginning to take off. And we're continuing to attract large numbers of guests. I'll ask Nancy before the meeting started, and she agreed with me. I don't think I've seen this many guests since the late 80s and early 90s when we had snowbirds coming down from the Midwest and the North, and we had no casinos to compete with for golf play. I mean, our golf courses are just, we're lucky. We're thankful to Purcell for giving us 2 golf courses so that we can handle the guests on a golf course and still have a course for our members to play on a regular basis. But I can tell how much play is resumed or much increased by the difficulty I'm having getting my tee times a month in advance. We were always able to play at 11:24 with 4 tee times from our personal group on Friday, and we never really had a trouble getting those 4 times until this year, and now sometimes we have to go as early as 10:30 or as late as 12:30. Now, don't get me wrong, we're happy to have the guests here. They help to supplement the golf income. We just wanted to let everyone know we do have a large increase in golf. Thank you, Nancy. The club continues to be busy. It has entertainment at nighttime, 4 to 5 nights a week. And the patio, of course, since the weather's changed, is also seeing a lot of members. We're thankful for that. Thankful to the staff for all their hard work. I know it's sometimes difficult trying to keep up with everyone out on the patio wants to be served at the same time. Just rest assured we're going to get to you as quick as we can, and they're all doing the best they can do. So thank you for your participation. Lastly, the Children's Fishing Rodeo is Saturday, April the 27th for 200 children of members in good standing. The registration or sign-in will be at 8:30 in the morning, and they'll fish from 9 to 11. Some of the children will be awarded poles and reels from a donor, and also the Waffle House is giving the first 100 kids to register free lunch. That's the end of my report. Thank you for listening. The next item on the agenda is committee reports. Director Pino.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Director LaFontaine.
Yes, the House Committee met on Monday, April 15th. I'm sorry, check that. It was Thursday, April 4th we met. March financials were reviewed. The new banquet and catering menu should be available before the end of April. Handicap parking signs have been installed, warning that violators will be ticketed and possibly towed if they violate the handicap parking places. We've had an increase on people illegally parking over the past. Latitude 30, Thursday morning breakfast menu service continues as is a service to our members, and the credit card service charge is scheduled to be implemented on May 1st. The summer and spring ballroom reservations are also quickly filling up. And that's it for
Thank
this
you.
month.
Director Nutting.
I'll defer to the chairs.
Thank you. Director Blackwood.
Yes, the admin committee met on April 3rd. Basically, we went over the schedule for the audit and past due items and the item around the May 1st going ahead with the 3% on using credit cards. That's all I have.
Thank you. Secretary Tozan.
I have nothing to report.
All right. Vice President Sislo.
The rec committee did not meet.
Director Ramirez.
Facility committee did not meet either.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is the General Manager's report. Mr. Aberdeen.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. In your information packets is a financial report for the month of March and year-to-date figures. It indicates that the net income for the month as a company-wide is $174,171 compared to a budgeted amount of $81,899 for a positive variance, and positive variance of $92,271. So it was a good month. And year to date, it indicates the net income through the month of March is $258,809 compared to a budgeted net income of $156,602 for a positive variance of $102,207. So we're off to a good start. First quarter of the year is positive. The next item in your packet is information as it relates to the POA membership dues, golf memberships and tennis memberships. And I have to disclose that there may be a mathematical issue when you total up these numbers. I'll meet with accounts receivable tomorrow morning and confirm.
Okay.
If there's any revision to this, I'll email it to each of you. The next item is our capital expenditure report. It really hasn't changed much from the previous meeting. I've spoken with Dan Hammond as it relates to the pumping stations that are, I think, from a practical standpoint, a time-sensitive element, because soon we'll be in this time of year when we need irrigation. Dan is in contact with the vendors, and they're just not ready to ship it to us yet, but he's pushing them. We'll keep you informed on that. The collections report indicates funds received, and also a real estate sales took place. One of the POA owned lots sold. Then we move into the amenity use overview. And golf had a very positive month in the month of March. Activity at tennis seems to be very good. A lot of participation from schools and some youth activity. Marina doing well, as is the RV storage. Marketing report. The club food and beverage summary. This is always an interesting report to pull together. It indicates that the month of March, we took in $132,000 compared to a budgeted amount of $335,904. So we fell a little short on that. Revenue by day, clearly Friday, Saturday, Sunday are the peak days. And Latitude 30, which includes the patio, is by far the highest revenue generator. Then marketing report, which indicates the activity from group business and internet interaction. The employee payroll and overtime summary is next. And the last two items on the summary page we'll talk about at a later time. That concludes my report for the evening. If you have questions or I can help in any way, I'll let you know.
No, we're off to an excellent start. You should thank the employees for us.
No question about that. And the employees thank you, the board, for your support, and certainly all the patrons and members who come to the club and make it possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is POA members' comments on agenda items.
No one has signed up for that.
Okay. Next is the regular agenda. We have item 2024-08, the motion to approve purchase of a replacement tennis ball machine, cost not to exceed $5,100. Someone want to make that motion?
I make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay. Vice President Sislo?
Rather than fighting the feedback, when I spoke to or provided the opportunity and information about this item, I neglected to point out that this tennis ball machine is the kind of practice machine that everyone pays to use. So its cost will be covered by the rental fees that are used for using that machine. Our other machine is just about on its last legs, and we've waited till the last second to see if we couldn't make it do better, but we need to replace this machine.
Yeah, I'm on the rec committee, and we heard from Don, who runs it over there, and the old machine is just gone. You can't run any sort of tennis facility without a practice ball machine, and like Vice President Sislo said, eventually it'll pay for itself because they do pay to use it, so I think this is a good thing for us to get.
Okay, anyone else have any comments? Hearing none, we'll have a vote. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous, the motion passes. The next item is POA members' comment on non-agenda items.
We have one person, Mr. Cagle.
I've got several things that I wanted to bring up. One is that I hope the new board has a question and answer period, okay? That I'm just not up here talking and listening to myself. Start off with, I am a paying member. I pay for my house. I do not pay for my lot. I have made it clear in the past that I'm not paying full price for that, and I don't intend to. But I'm putting y'all on notice that I do not want a bill again. And if you looked at the Facebook, you'll see that there's a bunch of people like me that are getting bills, and we're considering that harassment. It needs to stop. It's a waste of your money and my POA money. Second, I've been coming to these meetings, and the country club constantly has losses, and y'all never talk about it. There's always an excuse. The last I started collecting the Diamond Head News, and I started looking at it. Well, sure enough, I find that the last 6 months of last year, there was a tremendous loss. And not at one of the meetings, and of course not all of y'all were up there, okay, did anyone make a point of the fact that we got to find out, how do we lose $70,000 or $30,000, $41,000? How do you lose that in a month on the sales that that facility has? Any restaurateur, okay, on the Gulf Coast would love to pay the POA $10,000, $15,000 a month for the building, and y'all don't have anything to do with it. You'd make $180,000 a year, $150,000, whatever it is. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to me. How do you lose money in a restaurant like that? I looked at a restaurant in Long Beach to buy. $380,000 of sales. I was renting it. $90,000 in profit. Not bad. How can they do it and this facility doesn't? I don't understand. As far as the my personal thing is, I would like to see the new board consider doing a forensic accounting on the country club to see what is going on. Is it in the liquor laws? Is it theft? What is it? It's something. Yeah. And that's, and then whoever puts this together, okay, needs to look at January financials, which is the accumulated for last year, and look at November, and there's an error in the country club. According to November, accumulated loss was $54,800. December, $76,000. But in December, they made $1,300. So how does it go from 54 to 70 something? To me, somebody's not doing their job, okay? And when it comes to the country club, that's what I'm watching.
Okay, Mr. Cagle, your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we will have an executive session to talk about legal and personnel matters. The next open board meeting will be Monday, May 20th, 2024, 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to
Second.
make a motion that we adjourn.